big deal. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to have to go solo, then go trio.
My goop.
Ho, ho. Look, I come from a city, you hear signs when we sleep. Heaven sent, hands down, vibes so unique. They ain't play their part, so my part is play for keeps. Why I a kid, but I never saw that.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome into Lock, Loaded, and Goated. And here we are. There's three of us. And we are here. We are here tonight just to kind of recap the week, talk about college football and the state that it's in. And then, like I said, just shoot the proverbial shit with all you guys. So
Josh said it's been a rough few weeks without the show.
I know, man. That shit's. What's up, Josh? How are you, buddy? So,
Josh, have you not had anyone to vent to about what happened?
So if anyone has an opportunity, please go look at the thumbnail on YouTube. Yes, Chad, you're 100% right. Chad on the purple says Bama flew all the way to California to kick a field goal. You're right. We absolutely got shit on. So I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. There's not much to say. Nah, Josh, I don't know, man. Because here's the deal. Who you gonna go get besides DeBoer? Who else are you gonna go get?
Oh, he's still on that fire DeBoer train, huh?
Mm-hmm.
He's been loyal to it.
Yeah, it worked for Tim Banks. You're right. Tony wished it upon a star 400 fucking times.
Yeah, it only took 5 years.
What's up, Jeremy, on the YouTube?
Years.
I'm talking to Rye right now on phone.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandon Walker, Chad, on the purple. I think he said it best. DeBoer decided to kick a field goal to make a 3-score game a 3-score game.
Yeah, I mean Indiana is the real deal, and yeah, we got beat. Yep. We're gonna get into it. Like I said, there's no point in hashing it out. But one of the things we did want to bring up first. Boy, that Tim Banks led defense looked real good. Oh wait, yeah,
same thing.
Yeah. So
like the same thing.
The big thing that me and Riddle were talking about, and Josh, I guess Riddle said you told him about it too, was 4,500 players in D1 are in the transfer portal as of right now, as of today. That is 1/3 of all the players in D1 college football. This is a sad state that we are heading towards in college football. We can say it's wonderful. We can say it's brought parity. It is, but there's 4,500 kids in the portal. Not all those kids are going to get re-signed. I mean, that's the reality.
It's 31.5% of all players that are playing college football right now are sitting in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's just not enough spots on these teams.
Mm-mm.
And you still have a lot of teams. Yeah, they like to build their teams out of the portal, but you got guys like Dabo and places like that they're going to try to build up the people they have. They're just not going to add. So,
well, I will say this before we jump into it. We talked about this in our group chat. The winner and every team that is left in college football right now, every team that is left, they do two things very well: NIL and transfer portal. They do it well. They don't fuck all the other recruiting. Nothing else matters. NIL, there transfer portal.
What's up, Big Hunt? And another thing that, my two most interesting stats from
Josh, that's true. What's up, Big Hunt?
That we haven't.
Thank you for following, brother.
One being in that last round of the playoffs, every team in the playoffs had a head coach that was an assistant to Saban, except for Alabama. I thought that was funny.
Well, I mean,
and then my other fun stat of the night is Georgia finished 12-2, and they beat every team they played this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, Clemson bringing back Chad Morris as OC? That's pretty cool.
Yes, that was announced about an hour ago.
Is that a good thing?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so.
I mean, he won a title with him, so I mean, he was the, but you know,
yeah, but that was before NIL and everything.
Well,
they were loaded. Yeah.
I mean, they think maybe I don't know. Hell, I don't know.
Josh said Santa brought Tony a power tea nightlight.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I guess let's just jump it. Ken Reed said thoughts on Bobo.
So Big Hunt's been messaging me, and I've been speaking with him about that a little bit. We were talking about everything. We're Georgia fans. I'm not like mad at Bobo. I'm not upset with Bobo. Bobo wasn't the problems. I told Big Hunt watching that game, there were times again where, if you remember earlier in the year, I talked about how Gunnar Stockton loses sight of downfield. Like he likes to take his eyes down, looking at the pressure and everything, and he misses guys that are open downfield. And he did that a few times the other night. The problem was Ole Miss defense came out inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They looked faster than us. They were more physical than us. They won in the trenches, and it is almost impossible to get into a rhythm when you're constantly getting beat off the ball. Plain and simple. If you really break it down and look at everything that happened the other night, Georgia was lucky to even be in position to even have a chance to win that game. And I was sitting there watching it, and these were just little things that I was writing down. 0 sacks for Georgia's defense after the last few games, turning that around. Only 3 tackles for loss. They looked a step slow on defense. Chambliss went 30 of 44 for 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lacey had 22 carries for 99 yards. They had a missed field goal. Ja'Cory Thomas was ejected for targeting. KJ Bolden and CJ Allen both got injured on the same play and had to miss a few snaps. Nate Frazier, he had to come out with the ankle. The fumble on the 4th down on the strip sack, that after the game, Kirby came out and said that ball wasn't even supposed to be snapped. They were going to try to get him to jump. Bobo wasn't in the game because he's hurt. You have a more inexperienced center, and Kirby stepped up and took the blame for that. But you could see watching that play that the left side of the line didn't react to that at all.
Yeah.
2 plays later, Ole Miss scores to go up double digits after we were up 9 at the half. We were 3 of 13 on 3rd downs. Had the bye in back-to-back college football playoffs and lost both of them, both in the Sugar Bowl. And if you look historically, Georgia does not play well in that bowl game for whatever reason. There was a lot of mistakes that Georgia made, but the biggest credit has to go to Trinidad Chambliss, because every decision he made was the right decision. Even when he was running for his life, every time he reversed direction, ran 30 yards backwards to throw a 20-yard pass into double coverage, but you had the underneath defender and the behind defender, and he put it perfectly in between them. Everything he did was right, and sometimes that happens. But like I was telling you before we went live, Georgia has 17 seniors. Of those 17 seniors, I would give 2 of those, as far as impact, an A grade. Of those 17, we won back-to-back SEC championships, and as long as we don't have a bunch of people declaring for the draft or hitting the portal, we're going to return 96 to 97% of our team. So it happens. Can't be. I mean, you can be mad as a fan that we lost that game, but if you go back and look, both times we played Ole Miss, they put up more points than anybody against us. We don't match up well with them. They're fast, and they have a lot of talent. And now they could go and win their first national championship since like 1960. So,
yeah. I want everyone to know that I'm just going to be 100% transparent with you. Anyone that's an Ole Miss fan and thinks Pete Golding is the real deal because of this win, this was all Lane Kiffin, guys. I don't care what anyone says. You could say whatever you want to say. He built this dynasty, and all he did was go, okay, don't fuck it up, buddy. And Pete goes, okay, I won't try not to. Here, borrow some of my offensive coordinator so you can help. Bottom line is with all the shit going on down there at LSU, saying they may not even let the offensive coordinator and stuff play in the next game, I could see it being total. But I'm just going to tell you, Pete Golding sucks. We can say whatever we want to say.
You got to give him some credit because we didn't think that they would even get out of the second round of this. So I mean, they did fucking win.
They won because of their offense. It wasn't because of their defense.
Oh, I know exactly. So my thing is now, with that being said, the Pete Golding sucks and all that, which I'm not going to argue with because who knows really what he is because these aren't really his kids that's on the field. But I just want to know, did
Pete
Lane
Golding
Kiffin
sucks.
really matter that much? Did he really matter that much? Did Lane Kiffin really matter that much? And all the SU fans are excited because they got the highest paid coach in college football, who I don't think still has a playoff win. Did what?
Did you see LSU? I mean, did you see Ole Miss before Kiffin got there?
Yes.
Yes, he mattered.
Because he brought in talent. But
yes.
I'm just saying though, the talent's on the field. Kiffin really doesn't matter that much. He can bring in the talent. That's always been the case. Pretty much wherever he's been. He just hasn't been able to do jack shit for the most part with it. So
Big Hunt, you're right. Pete's using Lane's staff right now, and the offense, like Riddle said, Chambliss was the unsung hero. Lane went out and found that guy, and bottom line is pulled him out of the weeds, even though they thought Simmons was going to be the man, and took Simmons, their projected starter, threw him on the bench, and went with Chambliss. Big nuts right there, and look at the year they've had. But you know what? I think Golding I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't want to say that. I'm just telling you, he's not the guy that's going to turn you into a dynasty. He's just not. But
have you heard the news coming out of Oxford tonight? Well, it was earlier today. Golding says that there's a chance that Weiss, Joe Cox, the co-offensive coordinator, George McDonald, the passing game coordinator, and running backs coach Kevin Smith, who have all already said they were leaving to go to LSU, but that are still currently coaching. They went back to LSU's campus, and there's a possibility that they don't return back to Ole Miss for the semifinal and final. I would expect them to, but the way that Golding is talking,
I saw that.
Yeah, this is his quote. They said they have every opportunity, like they have up to this point, to be able to make that decision. So week in and week out, I don't dictate whether they do that or not because they're not employed by me. Up to this point, that's how it's been, and that's my expectation. So
Kelton says Weiss is the only coach returning. Yeah, John Veal, Chambliss was the 63rd quarterback in the portal this year. That tells you how good of an eye they had for talent.
And he had a career game, and kudos to him and hats off to him. He played as close to perfect as you could possibly play, and he's a huge reason that they are in the position that they're in.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Yeah, Josh said Lane's going to let him go check and keep an eye on the players that'll transfer. You're probably not wrong. Jordan, I think, brought that up in the group chat. If they get the extra year, if the Pavia lawsuit gives them an extra year, Chambliss is going to LSU. So it's going to happen. But let's see. Kevin wasn't going to be back, but that may change. Inside tampering. It could be inside tampering. I don't know that, but they're not going to do anything about it. We know there's players that have been tampered with in the past that have there's nothing ever happened. No consequences. Nobody gives a shit. But LSU's getting the other. Levitt. To Trey, you think they're getting Levitt?
I believe on my statement there at the end of it, I said he's a huge reason they are where they are. And I wasn't just saying he had an exceptional
Chambliss has been
performance
awesome
in the Sugar Bowl. Hell, he was my Heisman dark horse about midway through the season because of the way he played when he took that job over. I'm not discrediting anything that he's done this year.
So, and again, I'm not going to sit here and just whatever. We saw what Alabama's defense gave up against Indiana. We saw that, right? Well, Alabama held Georgia to 28 and 21. The vaunted Pete Golding's defense gave up 34 and a loss. And what they give up earlier in the year, 38? Was it 38 in the first game?
41, I believe.
Yeah, and that's not that. This is not a juggernaut Georgia offense like it has been in the past. This is so. I mean, bottom line is I'm happy for Ole Miss because honestly, it is nice to see someone different from the SEC have a shot. And I wish the whole thing would have played out better and Lane would have had a chance to play for the title or coach for the title. But
He's still
you'll
getting
see
those
it.
bonuses anyway.
Oh yeah. Alabama
Byron
thrown. Yeah,
Brown.
that's already been said, Neil. I know. Thank you for following
Byron
Trey.
Brown, USF's quarterback, took a visit today to Auburn, and they're expecting him to be his final destination there. So,
Kelton Stacks, you see that? Tennessee is a literal dumpster fire. Georgia lost. Alabama's on the downhill. End of the day. LOL.
Tennessee was a dumpster fire during the Dooley, Bush Jones, and definitely Pruitt era. But dumpster fire, no, we're not. I mean, I think I don't want to bring up history or anything because that's just old shit. But I mean, Ole Miss is as relevant as Tennessee, or Tennessee's as relevant as Ole Miss until Ole Miss wins a championship. So I don't care. So that's fine.
Like I said,
that's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Chad
I talk a lot of shit about my
KC04.
teams, though.
He said, "Do you think Ole Miss can beat Miami?" I do, actually. I think they match up pretty well with Miami. If you look at Miami's games that they struggled in, those 2 games they lost, I think Ole Miss is a very similar top team. But Mesidor and Bain they're going to be matchup problems for everybody. They'll have to figure out a way to not let those 2 guys be completely disruptive like they were in the Ohio State game. But yeah, I think. Honestly, I think any of these 4 teams could be the national champion at the end of the year. I know Indiana, everybody's real high on them with what they did to Alabama, but I picked Oregon to beat Texas Tech, and they went out there and shut them out. Nobody expected that. So I think all 4 of these teams, well, minus Ole Miss, are well-coached teams. I think they have that fire that you need at this point in the season.
Yeah.
They've got the playmakers to do it. I think any of these 4 teams can do it. Trey, you're right. Carson Beck is interception prone, and that's the reason they beat Ohio State is because Carson Beck did exactly what he needed to do for them to win that game. He didn't make any mistakes. He didn't make mistakes, and he did what he was supposed to do. So
you're right, Bully. You're 100% right, Bully.
That's the thing with Miami and Carson Beck. So my thing is, I would like to see what Miami can do when they are down, possibly. We've seen what they can do when they had. They're not going to let Carson Beck screw it up for them. They're just not. Because he can't stretch the field. He obviously about the INT prone. Yes, he is INT prone, very INT prone. That's why you don't see him throwing very much. And if he's throwing, it's literally like a little 5-yard out, or just something basic, something in the flat. That's they're keeping it simple for him. They're not letting him stretch the field.
Yeah, if
would Ole Miss be there with Austin Simmons? No.
If Ole Miss can get the pressure on Beck, if their front 7 plays like they did against Georgia, we could be on the verge of another A&M Miami game type of game. It's going to be very low scoring because I think Mesidor and Bain can create enough problems that Ole Miss will struggle at times. But I'm telling you, Trinidad Chambliss is special.
Yeah.
And if he plays anywhere near the way he played in the Sugar Bowl, won't be shocked at all if Ole Miss is playing for the national title and Lane Kiffin's getting a $750,000 check from LSU.
Yeah. I just want to say this. Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Trey said Indiana is what I'm worried about. Hell, everybody should.
That is what everyone should be worried about. The most physical team left. The most physical team.
And not only that, I think Cignetti has proved. You got to remember, a big part of his team are JMU guys that he brought with him, and they are very disciplined. They don't miss assignments. They do what they're supposed to do.
Very old.
And they do the basics very, very well. Like, they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. And that's dangerous, especially when they are as physical as they are.
Yeah, so the big
Simmons
thing
is actually in the transfer portal too.
Yeah,
so he'll be
the big thing with Indiana, we talked about this off air, but Indiana is one of the most senior teams in all of college football. We saw what a senior-ridden team would do when Michigan won the title. Indiana has that team. So you think about these players that are in their 5th and 6th year because of, COVID, all that stuff. These guys are 6 years in a strength and conditioning program. Whether it's JMU or Indiana, it's still a strength and conditioning program. These guys are seniors. They know how to play the game. They're, like Riddle said, they're very disciplined because of their experience. Props. What's up, Kias? Props to Indiana. I'm rooting for Indiana. So because they've never won it, and you know what? They're likable to me.
And
thank you for following.
Lee said IU actually Yeah, he's pretty much saying we just looked at the helmet instead of the resume. I don't think anybody, any
Thank
of
you,
us, was
Phone.
doubting Indiana to come out and beat a SEC team in Alabama this
No.
past Saturday. None of us even doubted that at all. Hell, I think
Yeah.
all of us pretty much picked him.
Well,
See, I'm not
yeah.
I'm not an SEC homer anyways, so I am a Vols fan, but I am not a homer by any means. I root the hell out against certain teams. So that SEC
Even Tennessee.
nonsense stuff, that yeah,
He
yeah. I
said,
root
"No
against
way in
my own
hell
team.
I'll pull for a Big Ten team."
Listen, guys.
It's
I
Indiana,
talk more
though.
shit about my own team than I do about any other team. So
Let's just talk about that.
I'm as unbiased as it can get.
Well,
So
so for historical purposes, the 4 teams that are left, Oregon and Indiana have never won a national
Josh,
championship
yeah.
in football.
I got you, Jason.
Miami's last national championship was 2001, and Ole Miss's last claimed championship was 1962. Their last championship was 1960, I believe. So somebody's going to win a national
Indiana
title,
looks good.
either for the first time or for the first time in a long time, and that's exciting as a football fan.
Yeah. Big Hunt says Tony talks more shit about Pavia and Dante Moore, 2 proven quarterbacks.
That's right. Oh my
2
God.
proven. Dante
We
Moore
have a
straight
guy-
up.
we
Dante
have a
Moore straight
guy
up
who
fucking
is-
dominated. Dominated.
No,
Yeah, he
do you need to
dominated.
Go look at the numbers.
He
Y'all act
dominated.
Like stats or everything. Go look at stats.
He
Tech did a
dominated.
pretty good job for what they were put in. Anyways,
What? He
Pavia's a bum, like I
234
said.
Oh my
He
God,
got
dude, he's
exposed again.
over
He got his ass
70%.
kicked in the first half. What do you mean?
He went over 70% against
Dante Moore
Texas
was-
Tech, and he had 234
I
yards.
tell you
That's
what,
pretty good.
Moore has some pretty good passes. I'll give
Yes,
that.
he did.
But it was like watching a Carson Beck that can stretch about 15, 20 yards instead of just 5.
man.
That's what it was like. At Tech,
He
did
was,
a hell of a job.
Yes, we
considering
lost.
the circumstances they were put
That's
in.
obvious.
How many 4th down stops did Tech get against that fucking offense? A lot. And
Oregon
because
went
Tech's
4 of 8.
offense couldn't do shit. That's pretty good for Tech.
As Numb Doughboy says, as a
50%,
UK
that's good.
fan, what did I walk into? Well, you didn't walk into Alabama's basketball team. But what's up, brother? How are you?
on what-
We're talking
on
college
what
football
Tony just-
playoffs.
On what Tony just went on a rant on,
Yeah.
Texas Tech held Oregon to 1.4 yards per carry. They had
That's pretty damn good, if you ask me.
They had 47 carries for 64 yards. They could not run the ball. 309 total yards though. Moore did have 245. Well, no, because they had 1 for 1 for 11. He went 26-33 for 234. He did have the 1 pick. Texas Tech's defense wasn't the reason they lost that game. What killed them was the 4 turnovers they had. They had the 2 picks and the 2 lost fumbles, and they just didn't recover from that.
Yeah, I mean,
Neither
it is
team
what it
ran
is.
the ball well, but
Yeah, neither one of them ran the ball well.
It was a very physical game, but I don't think anybody in the nation would have said that Texas Tech gets shut out in any game.
No, hell no. I didn't. I mean, that was actually one of the worst probably offensive games in the playoffs I've probably
Yeah.
ever watched.
I agree.
Even Tennessee last year was, kind of trash, but it wasn't
Keith-
that trash. It was terrible. It was 3 and out after 3 and out.
Yeah,
So-
Kias on the Purple said he hopes you get Pavia as a coach one day, Tony.
So someone said NIL is the worst thing to happen to SEC teams in particular. It's not that it's the worst thing to happen. It's just the SEC. Some teams aren't willing to overpay. And if you look at the 4 teams that are left right now, those teams are willing to spend big dollars to get the right players in there. Indiana included. Indiana has one of the biggest boosters in Mark Cuban. He's the reason Signetti has that big contract. So 100%, when you're willing to spend big money and get the right transfers, which all 4 of these teams have done, they're successful. And good for them, though. But you know what? Good for them. Let's see here. Go Hoosiers. Yes, they look good. They look good. I'm rooting for them now. Hell. But bottom line is I think where we're heading as far as college football is, like I said, it's going to be more transfer portal centric, because bottom line is when you have 4,500 players that have went out there and have college game tape, maybe it's not a lot of tape, Riddle, but maybe it's like a little bit of tape, but you have it on top of your high school stuff. Now those are the players you're going to be recruiting, because those are the players that have already went through a strength and condition. They've got years of experience in whatever program. And those are the guys you're going to have to go after if you want to be successful.
Yeah. I don't know. I got the TikTok pulled up, and I don't know if everybody else is freezing up like mine, but if it is, y'all can find us on the other platforms. And
Yes.
we'd appreciate you going and watching us there. Chad did just tell me that Spencer was in the chat, and I commented to see if he was still in here. I'm not sure if he's still in here or not, but for the people that don't know, Spencer Region is a buddy of mine that I've played ball with before. He went to Clemson, and he will be a guest on our show in the future to come in here and talk football with everybody. And I think Tony's got some fun questions lined up for him. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, because a lot of you that are not in here, I don't like Clemson. I think they're trash. I think they've been trash for a little bit now. NILs when the NIL first started happening, it's really killed Clemson because Dabo does not believe in it, and I guess he's just going to go down with the ship, and you're going to get a lot of mediocre football out of Clemson. That's what's going to happen. They'll never get to the top again unless they make changes about themselves when it comes to spending money, because this is what we live in now, unfortunately. And, back to the recruiting shit, I almost don't even care about recruiting anymore, honestly. It's almost
It's
just
a moot.
best to just go and get these kind of like proven, well, I'm going to say veteran college football player that's been in, college for a couple of years that are, they're filled out and all that shit. I feel like that's what Tennessee's been lacking too a lot. We go get these recruits and they're slim and all this shit. They're not stout enough.
Mm-hmm.
They're not stout. I mean, hey, look at our defense. We had edge rushers that weighed about 230, 240. I mean, yeah, you're quick, but you're not getting constant pressure. And now with Jim Nose coming in, I think we have lost a lot of recruits that are entering the portal, which I give two shits, because from what I read and understand is a lot of these kids that are leaving, especially on the line, defensive line part, these kids don't fit his scheme anyways.
That's true,
too
John.
damn small. Because they need to be about 260, 265 just on the ends. And of course we didn't have the big nose tackle this year or anything. Linebackers outside of Aaron Carter was, it's whatever.
You're right, Jason.
We were small, fast, and just bad. Just bad, just fucking bad. Just bad play calling, bad coordinating, whatever you want to call the shit. It was terrible this year.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
You put little men against big men, and you got bad play calling on top of it. It's not going to work out anyway.
So he said his point is that NIL prevents SC teams from stockpiling talent on the bench. We've said that all year. So nobody's getting developed anymore. Basically, you don't have that next guy in the pipeline being developed. He has to learn on the fly. He may be ultra talented. Like Alabama had a freshman right tackle, Michael Carroll, have to start because everyone else around him wasn't good enough. And he wasn't ready to play. But honestly, like I said, Big Hunt says recruiting died when the portal was introduced and lots of blue chip freshmen in the portal this year from John. And you're right. And I think when they see the numbers, there will be some changes to the transfer portal coming. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there will be changes coming to the transfer portal because there's no way you can exist like that. Go ahead.
Yeah. And we've talked about that on here. I think there needs to be a cap on the amount of money you're allowed to spend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they need to bring back the penalty for transferring. Give them the one transfer if they want to transfer, but anything after that, it should cost you a year of eligibility like it used to.
Yeah.
I mean, kids don't move when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Some do for personal reasons or because they need to. But back in the day, if you went to a school, you were there for 4 or 5 years. That was it.
Yeah.
And I,
except for grad transfers,
I miss those days. Right.
Yeah.
And I miss those days just like everybody else does. But this is the can of worms they opened, and they've not done a good job of controlling it at all.
But it's NCAA. When do they do a good job of doing anything?
That's true too.
Yeah. So he said,
go
ahead.
I was just go ahead with your comment. I'll talk about this in a second.
It said Jaden Rashada in the portal again, 6th school. And then he said Cuban will be helping pay for IU football in Signetti, but today the team has $0. My point is they don't commit, so you don't get that kind of commitment from Signetti and him staying without that Cuban dollar. But yes, I agree. The team right now may not have that money, but they have spent money. They spent money to get the right players there. So that's good. There is a cap. It's called Rev Shell. Yeah, go ahead. TJ Finley.
I was just going to say, yeah, I believe he's trying to get a 7th year of eligibility so he can transfer to his 7th school. so it's crazy.
B West says, why should players be tied to schools when coaches can leave? Okay.
God,
so here we go. B West. We're going to tell you right now, just put contracts out there and then you do whatever the hell you want. If you violate the contract, you pay the penalty. It's that right. Simple. These coaches are under contract. These coaches can also be fired. They can be fired. So, I mean,
reason.
The football player can't be fired. Did you know that? They can be asked to go somewhere else, but they can't be kicked off the team unless they do something bad. So, I mean,
4,000 coaches going to portal either, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I didn't see 4,000 coaches going to portal.
But yes, I wish they would do contracts. So there you go.
What I was going to touch on just a minute ago is the lines, the spreads for these 2 games coming up that we'll be picking Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Miami, Ole Miss, the Fiesta Bowl. Miami is a 3.5 point favorite right now.
Mm.
And then in the Peach Bowl with Oregon and Indiana is a 4 point favorite in that one.
Mm. That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. And then the only other football game we got left outside of those 3 in the college football playoff is Monday. The FCS championship game is Illinois State and Montana State. And that's at 6:30 on ESPN.
I can't wait to watch that one.
Yep. Can Miami win? Yes, they can.
Absolutely, they can.
Their defense is that good. But I'm going to say this, and like, we don't have a lot of football left. So everyone that's here, everyone that has watched us all season, we appreciate you. And for the new people that are here right now, there's 38 people. Go ahead and hit the like and follow. Go ahead and go to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, all those platforms. Give us a like and follow. We put the podcast up, so the audio version on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Every week we go live during college football season, Wednesday and Saturday. We're going to start talking about the off season, because the off season is going to be key for us, because this year we're going to try to keep things up. We're not going to do a regular scheduled show like we do during the season, but we are going to probably have a draft coverage special, things like that, just to try to keep it interesting. And try to keep you guys in the loop. We'll try to do something. We want to do some offsites at spring games if we're possible, but I don't know what we're going to do. But y'all just stay tuned for that. Thank you for the follows though. And Bobo must go.
We do have a lot of things in the works. I've had some shirts made for the guys. I've had a few people reach out that want shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that. The trivia package, which I gave an update to Brandon when we first got on. For those that are still in here that are in the running for that, I don't know if Chad and Josh are still in here. I haven't seen them comment in a minute, but the trivia standings right now is Josh has 31 points, Big Hunt has 27, Chad has 26, and Deez has 23. So it's coming down to the end. You get the lock, loaded, and goated football, lock, loaded, and goated helmet. Some more things we're going to send you in a care package if you win the trivia.
This dude said, do you think that's Matt Campbell at the top?
It could be.
Listen, Tony can't win that much. Okay. Tony, absolutely not. Come on. Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
like to give some wins. I like to give wins to people.
Tony,
that's the only enjoyment I get in life is I can make people laugh. And I can
you can make people laugh. I will say that you can make people laugh. And I'm going to tell you, have y'all heard of King Midas and everything he touches turns to gold? Everything Tony touches fucking rots and dies. He's like death. He's like death.
Totally true.
Riddle.
It's not totally true.
Riddle. What does history say? What does history say about Tony?
Oh,
Fade Tony.
Are we going to pull out the stat card now? Okay.
No, we're not even talking about Tony. We're talking about before this season.
I know.
Fade Tony. Fade Tony. You know it. Chad says with your cute little glass.
Hey, I'm not using a Glencairn tonight. Okay?
Yeah.
This is a crystal glass, right? A crystal.
But no,
what are you drinking on?
We do.
This is a Remus 6-year single barrel.
Okay. Yeah.
We do have a lot of interesting ideas and things we're going to do heading into next year. I'm excited for it. I enjoy doing this. I just enjoy getting on here and talking football with y'all.
That's all we want to do.
Because this is America, and everybody has the right to have their opinion, and we can sit here and argue about it, but it's all love, and we do appreciate all of y'all being here, especially tonight. You know, we've been off for the holidays and everything, and we come back, and I know we've been up to 50 people in here.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So
really good.
Josh said, "Did y'all see my comment?"
Which one, Josh?
Busy.
About the old Kirk. I seen it. I said I got 2 bottles. If that's what you're talking about. Now, I guess
I do want to.
Josh said he got D's bottle of a $400 bottle old Kirk, and D's left it, and he said we can come up and drink with him.
Oh, nice. I do want to go back and touch on a comment real quick that came through, and it was actually, I feel like it's spot on. I'm assuming his name is Jason. If it's not, and it's Jason.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry.
But Jason Lee said Sig's secret power is talent identification, player development, and having a culture. I was actually talking to a buddy about that the other day, and we were talking about, you know, Alabama and the faking the 4th down, trying to get them to jump, and then sending the punt team out, but with Simpson out there, and he runs up under center. And if you look at Sig's face on the sideline, he's not amused. He's very into it. Doesn't matter what the score is. And my buddy said it reminds me of somebody else. And I sent him a picture of Saban just absolutely losing his shit on the sideline. And that's honestly, that's the demeanor he has. He's probably more pissed off when they're up big and making mistakes than he is when it's a close game and something goes wrong. So I love Signetti, and I love what he's done at Indiana. Kudos to him.
Yeah, Sig. We talked about this before. If Sig takes Indiana and wins a title, we talked about this. I'm not saying he's as accomplished as Kirby, but at some point you got to start thinking about him being one of the best coaches that are active right now in college football, because Indiana. So Kalen DeBoer is on his 2nd year, okay, and you saw what Alabama put on the field. Sig's on his 2nd year. Sig's on his 2nd year.
Could be playing for a national championship.
You know, obviously the guy knows what he's doing. Kudos to that guy. He's not a supervillain to me. Like, I like Sig. I think because you know what? Like, when you go talk to him on the sidelines, they do the report. He's not that all that shit goes away. He's very approachable. He's very conversational to everyone. He's not a Saban where he's chewing out the media. He's you know, just. He's a good guy. I like him. I don't know why people act like he's a villain because of his look. I mean, hell, it looks like he's focused to me.
Because he's not fucking Dan Lanning ripping his shirt off.
Yeah,
and
that's stupid.
I'm not trying to discredit Kirby, because I think Kirby's a great coach. I'm glad we have him. I hope we keep him until he retires.
Absolutely.
But what Signetti's been able to do at the schools that he's went to, you know, James Madison taking them to D1, still being successful, then going to Indiana, I think they're 2nd all time in Division I history in losses, and he's got them 1 win away from playing for a national championship in year 2. The job that he's done at Indiana has been incredible. The problem with that is everybody's going to now try to be like, okay, this coach isn't getting it done in year 2. Let's go see if we can find lightning in a bottle. And you just can't. You can't. It's unrealistic. You've got to give these coaches time to get their players in there. Sig brought a bunch of his guys with him, guys that he trusted, the guys that knows his system, and brought that culture with him. But it's a catch-22, because there's not guys like Signetti.
Yeah,
you can't just go out and hire the next Signetti. It's just not going to happen.
That was a rare find for Indiana. And they got lucky enough to grab him up before someone else did. And the deal with Signetti is no one from his core group, like Riddle said, no one has left him yet. That's when a coach really decides what they're made of, when coaches start leaving, when Kirby lost Lanning, you know, I mean, and I'm not saying he didn't have success and all that. I'm saying, like, that's when you start seeing what coaches are really made of. I think Signetti is, like I said, I'm arguing for him to be one of the best coaches in college football. I'm simply saying that, when he starts facing that kind of adversity, everyone thought Dabo was the next coming of Urban Meyer. And then he started losing his coordinators. And guess what happened? He went downhill quick. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Cignetti's done a great job. People are going to be coming after his defensive coordinator. They're going to start getting offers. I mean, it's going to happen. And how he replaces them, that's going to tell me the most about Cignetti. Let's see, is there a better option?
I think Cristobal is a good coach at Miami.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, he's a U guy.
He fits in there. I think he has that passion that they like there. I mean, if you saw him in that Ohio State game, he's fired up over there. I love coaches that get fired up on the sidelines. Can't say that for Kalen DeBoer because he very rarely gets excited. But
yeah,
and that's a world's difference from Nick Saban, who's over there biting people's heads off for being up 70-0 and fumbling or something. You know what I mean? It's just I like Cristobal at Miami. I don't think he'll have any problem getting people in there. I saw a comment earlier about recruiting down there in South Miami. There's a lot of talented people down there in South Miami. Shouldn't have a problem. Give us back Scott Cochran.
Yeah.
No. I don't even think he's with Georgia anymore. I think he had some personal issues and stuff.
No, he's a head coach he's a head coach somewhere.
Yeah, he left Georgia. He was having personal issues and stuff. So, but Cristobal, I think he fits there. I think this is what Miami wants out of a coach, is a guy like him. So
he's coach at West Alabama.
The kids have bought into the culture down there, so kudos to them.
Yeah, 100%, man.
And Brandon, going back to what you said about Kirby losing Dan Lanning, I mean, we see what the coach Dan Lanning is. I like Dan Lanning. You like Dan Lanning. Tony doesn't like Dan Lanning. But, losing him as a defensive coordinator didn't hurt as bad. Right.
You motherfuckers put words in my mouth. I never said I didn't like him. I said every coach is fair game at any point. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's good. He's a good coach.
He had Glenn Schumann, who was his right-hand man since he was at Alabama, to step in and take. He had been grooming him for that position, so it didn't hurt losing Lanning. But, I mean, as far as recruiting and stuff goes, yeah, it hurt. But
all right,
as far as a defensive mind, hell, Glenn Schumann's molded in Kirby's image. So,
yeah. So I'm gonna have to get off here. I'm the DOA, so I gotta go handle some business.
Oh boy.
But
I gotta get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, so we wanted to do a quick show, guys, after the holiday. We'll be back on Wednesday night to go with our regular show. We're gonna pick the winners of the games, and we're gonna kind of break down where we think college football and kind of see where the transfer portal's heading for us. But here we go. Here we go, guys. We got 4 teams left in the playoffs, and we are ready, and we're looking forward to a fantastic 2026 year. So anyway, that's going to do it for us. Like I said, please give us a like and follow if you haven't already. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. And then obviously the podcast audio version will be on Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That's going to do it for all of us on Locked, Loaded, and Goated. We'll see you on Wednesday.